Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. The time for celebration. My Beddium is real. Well, technically anyways. In the world of optimization mods, you have a fair few options nowadays. First, you have Optifine, the oldest and arguably the most known one out of the bunch. But now that what I refer to as the big bang of optimization mods has happened, everything goes. From small behavior tweaks to ultra far rendering engines to fully rewritten rendering engines. Maybe the most famous one of the latter bunch is Sodium, for fabric players that is, and for Forge it is its fork, Embeddium. But now with the 1.21 update, Embeddium dropped support for good old Forge in favor of the newer NeoForged platform. This leaves some of us with an issue. See, I'm old, and old people like to stick to habits, so I still use Forge for my mod pack Pebblecraft. So that's it then. If I want to update, there's no more optimization mods for Forge. Well, not so fast, my friends, as I've come to introduce you to Beddium and its developer, Ven.
Well, I'm Ven. I make Minecraft mods. I've been doing it for a very long time. Most of my focus has been on graphics programming. I work with a small team in a mod pack on 1.7.10. I mean, that's basically it, honestly, this whole introduction.
So, my friends, what is Beddium? What does it do? And why did I call it my Beddium in the beginning? Well, stay tuned and click that little subscribe button, as I am really close to 20k. But let's get going. If you watched any of my videos on optimization mods, or heck, even both the Optifine and Sodium videos, you'll know all the background you need to know. If you haven't, why not? Anyway, TLDR, for a long time, as I said, Optifine was the de facto and only option for optimization in Minecraft. And for some, it still is. And even when Sodium released, this was still the case. Because yes, the impact of Sodium was about as graceful as the meteor that killed the dinosaurs. And I wouldn't be lying if I said this kind of caused the modding community to switch over to Fabric and give Fabric its somewhat false presumed reputation of somehow running better than base Forge out of the box, but I digress, because Sodium didn't run on Forge. So many people tried forking Sodium over to Forge, but only a few would succeed. This wild west of just random people porting over Sodium all the time and not trying to make an effort distinguishing themselves from the original project led to somewhat of an infamous choice by Jelly Squid and Sodium for banning ports, with now only two projects having the actual Sodium source code in it for Forge, that being Beddium and of course Embeddium. But as of 1.21, like I said, Embeddium is no longer supporting good old Forge. And Beddium, well, Beddium hasn't been updated since December 2023. The question is, does this leave Forge players like me without their much needed FPS mods? Well, no. Introducing Beddium, a shiny new fork of Embeddium. But wait, what the hell is Beddium? Could you maybe explain what Beddium is?
Beddium is practically a one-to-one fork of Embeddium, done with permission of Embedded T. It's based off Embeddium for NeoForged, and it's just been patched for support Forge itself. There's nothing particularly fancy in it. Maybe if I decide to add something cool to it, but it's likely going to be upstreamed back into official Embeddium.
That's right, bucko. An unofficial project that gets the sweet performance goblins back into my Forge loader. I'm all for it. And testing them out side by side here, controlling for both RAM usage and GVM, it does seem like both projects still give you the same amount of FPS boosts. Would be weird otherwise, it's literally the same code. But the upstream part is important as well. See, a fork most of the time still uses the project it's based off as its core code. Usually it's still getting its code updates from those baseline projects. This is called the upstream, as the code flows down to your project, and many projects will just take from their parent project and never really contribute back. Which is fine, it's open source, you can do what you want, as long as you don't go around pretending that all of it is your work. But Beddium is unique in this, and it actually plans to upstream some of their changes, meaning that it will contribute back to its parent project to continue making both projects better, thus completing the wholly open source cycle and making every Linux user sudo unmount their /d drives in their terminals right now. This, in my opinion, is what open source is all about, taking what's already out there and making it better. But hold on, if the creator of Embeddium wanted to make it for NeoForge only and drop Forge support, isn't backporting to Forge kinda stupid? Why just not go to the source and port over Sodium directly?
If I were to do this by taking the current Sodium, or particularly the currently the last open source commit of Sodium, and port that across, it would be a gargantuan effort compared to the changes that need to be made to Embeddium on NeoForge to get it to work on Forge, as Forge and NeoForge are currently very similar ecosystems.
His argument does have merit, but NeoForge is proving to be the more popular loader according to Discharge from Snoopboops. Yes, that's actually his name, sorry. In July of 2024, there were double the amount of NeoMods than there were for good old Forge. It really seems that 1.21 is the update. Most of us are going to be forced to update to Neo for the simple reason that many people just hate Lex. Now, if that's a good reason or not, I'll leave that up for you to decide, but for now, we still have Beddium to fill the square void Embeddium left. But wait a second, why did I call this mod my Balzium? Well, a while ago I had Paint Ninja, one of the Forge developers, text me a random jar called mybalzium-1.0.5.jar, telling me to open it up on my stream over at twitch.tv/CygnusMC. To my surprise, it was just a repackaged name for Beddium, while it was still under development, as Ven kinda wanted to keep it secret because people don't really like you developing for Forge nowadays, but the developer kinda found out.
I guess Embed wasn't too fond of the name mybalzium, was he?
No, I woke up to a message to him telling me not to call it that. But I think he took the joke lightly.
Phew, dodged a bullet there. So that's it then. A nice little mod to increase performance that's based on another mod that itself was based on the best performance mod we've ever seen. With lofty promises of keeping the support going with possible new features, I'm quite excited to see it take shape. But what about you? What if you wanted to make your own performance mod?
Content is king. Please don't make a micro mod. Please make a mod that substantially improves the player experience. Please try to make something substantial. The current ecosystem is absolutely flooded with small mods that make the tiniest changes or add a single block, or are mods that are set up in such a way that every single feature is fragmented into a small tiny mod. Can we please return to the way it used to be and have a cohesive ecosystem where one mod adds one cohesive slice of content?
That's more of a request than actual good advice, but what did you expect for someone who made their profile picture the fucking Nico arc thing? I can't look at this thing anymore, just look at it. How stupid is this? Either way, videos are back every single week. I was Lunar, you were awesome, and I'll see you on next week, same time. Alright, yes, I'm back. Hi, I took August off, I needed some break. This is a little bit of a shorter video because it's kind of a short story, to be honest. I didn't want to milk it. But yeah, thank you all for the pebbles. Thank you all for the Patreon members who supported me throughout August, even though there was no content. If you're looking for even more content, the Patreon does give you the full 15-minute interview with Ven and all the others I've interviewed for previous videos. Well, YouTube Pebbles give you early access to the videos. And if you really want more content without paying for it, there is the second channel, CygnusMC Live, where I and Cozy Corpse edit my streams down, and you should really check out my streams. You should. Anyway, thank you so much for supporting me throughout August. I know I was gone. I just needed to take a break from YouTube, and there's an announcement coming soon, but I'm not going to spoil it. Anyway, see you next time.
Is there anything else you would like to mention before I round this off?
If you wish to support my work, the best thing you can do is you can check out my mod pack. Me and my team have been working on it tirelessly for the past 2 years. It might be on an older version, Minecraft 1.7.10. It's called Mega, and it's planning on being the largest factory mod pack of all time.